What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Bull Combo. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, we're going to be talking about everything going on this week in the Metaverse. Yes, I'm wearing a hoodie in July. It's because it's chilly and rainy outside. Do not judge me. That said, there's been quite a bit of news this week in the world of the Metaverse. So without any further delay, let's jump right into the updates. After several weeks of silence, the Earth2 team has come out with some new information on some of the things we can expect to be released over the next few days. CEO Shane Isaac tweeted that the company is finalizing an acquisition that will allow the Earth2 team to bring PvP to the Earth2 platform. We don't really know much about this yet. The only thing that was stated in the tweet was that PvP was going to be brought and that it was going to be in 3D. Aside from that, we don't really know what that means. There's been some speculation that the Earth2 team has acquired the company behind the game Drone, which was the project that Nathaniel worked on before joining Earth2. That's very speculative right now. We don't really know any details more than what was shared on the tweet. I don't think anyone really has that information aside from the company itself. So we'll really have to wait and see. I've had a couple people reach out to me and ask me for my thoughts on the PvP aspect. I have some concerns just from a balancing perspective. I'm not really sure how they're going to balance that because obviously PvP has to be balanced to a certain degree. Pay to win is very much something that people have had issue with in recent years, and while this is obviously a platform that lots of people have put money into, if you're going to create a PvP experience, there has to be a level of balance. So I'm really curious to see how they're going to balance that between people that own huge amounts of land and huge amounts of tiles and people that really don't own that many tiles. Obviously both sets of people, both groups of people would want to partake potentially in a PvP aspect, but at the same time, again, the balance needs to be there to make sure that whatever they base the strength of this PvP aspect off of, it's not something that's too pay to win, because obviously you want to reward everyone that's involved in the platform. Along with the PvP news, we also got some new information on the resources and jewels that will be dropped in the next day or two. It looks like jewels and resources have actually been added to the main Earth2 site now, at least the area to see where they exist and to see where they're stored. It doesn't appear that any have actually dropped, or the drops themselves have gone live yet. Based off the Gen Chat conversation with Thomas earlier today, it looks like jewels could be dropping as early as later today. He said to be patient. It will roll out for people incrementally, so to keep checking the resources page, and eventually you'll be able to see them there and collect them. Curious to see exactly how this plays out. I don't think we really know much more about it right now, but I'll be checking the resources page today, and hopefully we can start collecting those jewels soon. It was a big week for the Sandbox with several pieces of big news. Obviously, week 2 of the Summer Jam land sale was completed yesterday. Everything sold out in seconds, as was the case previously. I was actually able to get a land along with, I believe, everyone else that was in the voice chat. If they didn't get one then, they were able to get one transferred to them by one of us that got more than one land. So in the end, we all ended up coming out with land. But I will say I did notice that the performance on the site suffered greatly compared to previous drops, and I do really think that this is an indication that the interest in the land sales has really skyrocketed over the last few weeks. And I anticipate we're going to continue to see stuff like that as the Sandbox gains momentum. The Sandbox also made another huge announcement this week that they're going to be migrating to the Polygon Matic network. Guys, it can't be understated how important this migration is. Polygon is a layer 2 Ethereum sidechain. It basically allows for much more environmentally friendly transactions with much lower gas fees. And it's going to be very good for the platform as a whole, both from an environmental aspect and from an accessibility aspect. Making it easier for transactions to occur with lower gas fees is going to make the platform more desirable and more accessible to people that wouldn't normally access it because either they aren't familiar with crypto or the idea of crypto along with gas fees for each transaction is a major turnoff for them. So by migrating to Polygon and Matic, what they're really doing is they're future-proofing themselves a bit. I do anticipate that this is going to lend itself very well to things, especially as the platform goes live, because once the Sandbox platform goes live, it needs to be as accessible as possible to make sure as many people can access it as possible. So moving to a more accessible layer 2 sidechain like Matic, like Polygon, something that's already ERC20 ready, it can store those Ethereum-based NFT tokens without a problem. I think that we're going to see some really good things coming in the near future for the Sandbox, so I'm pretty excited to see how that goes. The final piece of Sandbox news was related to a Vox Edit competition that they're running right now. So for the next 2 weeks, they're having a Vox Edit competition. It's pool party themed, so what they're looking for is people to create assets in Vox Edit that are themed to a pool party, and then what you're going to be able to do is submit your entry. It's going to be voted on by Sandbox devs as well as Sandbox users, and then they're going to select the top 3 winners to each receive 1,000 sand, as well as have their NFT listed on the marketplace as an exclusive item. Pretty cool stuff, guys, just for designing an asset in Vox Edit. So if you're creative, If you have some familiarity or experience creating assets in Box Edit, get in there, create something pool party related, make sure to submit your entry, and best of luck. It was a major week for VeVe, the digital collectibles giant. First came the news of their partnership with Marvel, which is something that obviously cannot be understated. Marvel's a massive brand. There are so many characters and items that reside under the umbrella of the Marvel brand. So to see VeVe have a partnership with them, to see VeVe have that licensing, that just shows how VeVe is viewed in the corporate world and to these brands, and it just shows the work that VeVe's putting in and the end goals that they have, and that really is to be the juggernaut of digital collectibles when it comes to especially 3D digital collectibles. On top of that announcement, they also had 2 drops this week. We had the Labbit drop yesterday as well as the Back to the Future hoverboards drop. I actually totally spaced and did not get a chance to get in on the Back to the Future drop, but I did grab a Labbit. I got a smoking Labbit. The thing is so cute and also freaking awesome looking. So that was definitely something I had to jump in on. I haven't jumped in on VeVe drops over the last couple of weeks because there hasn't been a bunch of stuff that interested me, but that Labbit, man, it was so cool. Did you score a Labbit or a hoverboard in yesterday's VeVe drop? If so, let me know down in the comments down below. I would love to hear about it. I recently mentioned how virtual real estate development company Republic Realm had just spent an extremely large sum of money on a plot in Decentraland to the tune of $900,000. We now have a little bit more information on exactly what their plans are with this land. Republic Realm has announced that this area within Decentraland is going to be a virtual mall called Metajuku. Metajuku is a virtual shopping district based on Harajuku, a district in Tokyo made famous for its street fashion. Guys, I think this is just another in a series of consistent pieces of news showing us that the metaverse is being embraced by a lot of brands right now with really ambitious and large visions for the future of what they think a metaverse will look like. A virtual shopping center is just one more example of that. I know this is something that we've all expressed interest in various metaverse platforms, the idea of virtual commerce. It's really interesting to see that Republic Realm shares that viewpoint and that they are trying to move into a direction like that. I'm curious to see how this pans out. The Metajuku concept art looked really cool. It looks like they have most of it already built and ready to go, so I'm curious to see when they actually decide to deploy that. Nevertheless, it does seem like virtual shopping is going to be the wave of commerce of the future, guys. So Republic Realm definitely on the front of that wave, and I guess we'll just have to see if that 900K deal pays off in the long run for them or not. Forbes released an article this week talking about the metaverse, specifically talking about how not only is the metaverse not a trend, but it will eventually become a necessity for brands to exist within the metaverse. This is something I've mentioned before, guys. As commerce, as banking, as traditional means of commerce in general move the realm of crypto, blockchain, and virtual, we're going to see more and more things like this. And Forbes talking about how a brand needing to exist or needing to have a virtual presence in a metaverse to survive long term. It's just another example of that. I 100% agree with this, guys, and I think it's very important that brands start looking at this right now, start finding out ways they can create virtual presences in these metaverses, because as more and more users are attracted to these metaverses, as they gain more and more attention and there's more foot traffic inside of them, these brands are going to want to take advantage of that. They're going to want to take advantage of being able to expose users to their products in another way, in another medium. So I definitely 100% agree with this article. I kind of just wanted to mention it here because I think it just reinforces some of the things that we talk about when it comes to virtual land, and specifically metaverses and the potential that they're going to have long term. And I think it's really encouraging to see a platform like Forbes covering this in such a positive light and in such an emphatic light, basically talking about how they really strongly believe this will be a requirement. I think that just highlights the validity of some of the stuff that we talk about here and the speed at which the world is hurtling toward that virtual reality direction. VR Education Holdings. The company behind the social VR platform Engage announced its $10.7 million to create a new product called Engage Oasis. It's an upcoming enterprise social VR platform described as a fully featured corporate metaverse. Inspired by the Oasis in Ready Player One, sounds familiar. The studio says avatars and virtual locations will be tailored for professional users, which includes no limits when it comes to the storefronts and meeting places that they want to build. There, the company envisions the platform as a new marketplace for corporations and digital artists to sell digital items and provide services using NFTs, fiat currencies, and cryptocurrencies. So it very much sounds like this is going to be a corporate version of the metaverse, something designed more for businesses than for the everyday casual user. I think this could be a very lucrative business as well. I think it's very interesting to see that they're moving the same direction as some other metaverse platforms and modeling their ideas off of the Ready Player One Oasis concept. think that that's a very popular concept to be compared to right now. So it's not a surprise that they're using that as the example. I also think it does a really good job of illustrating what a metaverse is for people that might not be familiar with metaverses or might just be new to the concept of it. So very interesting stuff here. We're gonna have to keep an eye on this. This is obviously a brand new announcement, but I think it just shows, again, another entry into the metaverse. There are so many metaverse creations going on right now, so many different platforms and companies trying to create their version of the metaverse or their piece of the metaverse. So this just looks like another piece of the puzzle here. Division Network announced open beta test for their Division World. Division Network has announced that the open beta test for the metaverse Division World would begin in phases starting June 30th, which was a couple days ago. During the open beta test, users will be able to fully customize their characters and will be able to utilize their avatars to enjoy the virtual reality experience within the Division World. The MySpace feature provides a personal virtual space users can obtain within the Division World. Users can also purchase different items to build their virtual space according to their needs and preferences. Again, guys, another virtual metaverse platform on the horizon. Looks like this has a very similar concept to some of the other metaverses that are currently out there, Decentraland, Somnium Space, Sandbox, etc. It looks like you can purchase a space within the world itself that you can then customize and decorate as you see fit. I don't really know how that plays into other virtual land concepts, but it definitely sounds like as a whole the larger concept is very similar. This is a very new platform that we don't have a ton of information on, but the fact they've already announced their open beta test shows that they are making quite a bit of progress on the platform. I know right now we don't have a ton of information on exactly what's going on with the platform, although the fact that they already have an open beta test live really shows that the platform must be pretty far along in the roadmap, or at least far enough along that they feel comfortable opening up an open beta test to its users. So as more information comes out on that, I'll be sure to share it with you guys. But because this is a new metaverse platform, because the metaverse platform and metaverse space as a whole is expanding so rapidly, it's definitely something I wanted to include here and make you guys aware of. All right, guys. So there was quite a bit of stuff this week, but that was all I had. If you guys have any questions on any of this stuff down below, make sure to comment down there and I'll do my best to answer them. I'm not a pro on any of this stuff necessarily, guys. I just do my research to try to bring this to you guys every week, but I'm happy to chat with you guys if you need to know something or if you have some questions. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really goes a long way to supporting the channel. And if you like this content enough, consider subscribing to the channel, guys. I try to cover blockchain related stuff. I've been doing some live streams lately where I'm building on the Sandbox. I'm going to be trying some different things here, but overall, I just love to cover the metaverse. I love to cover virtual land, and I like to bring you guys news related to that. So if you can get down with that, if you like that kind of stuff, make sure to consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell to get notified when I post new videos. As always, I want to thank you for checking out this video. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, an excellent weekend, and until next time, we'll see you soon.